Hello and welcome. H&B presenting the weighing indicator DAD 141.1. This video demonstrates how to set up the analog outputs by using the front panel buttons. The user interface. Front panel buttons, here setup operation. Up and down buttons, press one of them for 3 seconds or longer to start the setup menu. Select a menu item between 1 and 8. Select a submenu item to choose the parameter. Edit the selected parameter. Enter button. Enter the submenu item parameter. Quit submenu and save changes. Move right button. Select a display position in setup procedure for the parameter. Quit setup menu. Depending on the menu item, press once or more often. The analog output features. The DAD 141 has 2 isolated analog outputs, one for current and one for voltage. Menu 5. Setup for the analog outputs. Submenu 5.1. Value for minimum signal level. 5.2. Value for maximum signal level. 5.3. Choose the reference of the analog output. 5.4. Working mode of the analog output. 5.5. Test of the analog output in the mode you have set up in 5.4. The minimum value of the signal level. Submenu 5.1. Setup value for the minimum signal level. Set the weight value which corresponds to the minimum output. 3 examples. The weighing range is 3000 kilos, which means 3000 digits at 0 or 4 to 20 milliamps or 0 to 10 volt. Output mode 4 to 20 milliamps. Here 0 kilograms must be 4 milliamps, setting 0. Output mode 0 to 20 milliamps. Here 0 kilograms must be 0 milliamps, setting 0. Output mode 0 to 10 volt. Here 0 kilograms must be 0 volt, setting 0. Press enter to quit and save the changes. The maximum value of the signal level. Submenu 5.2. Setup value for the maximum signal level. Set the weight value which corresponds to the maximum output. 3 examples. The weighing range is 3000 kilos, which means 3000 digits at 0 or 4 to 20 milliamps or 0 to 10 volt. Output mode 4 to 20 milliamps. Here 3000 kilograms must be 20 milliamps, setting 3000. Output mode 0 to 20 milliamps. Here 3000 kilograms must be 20 milliamps, setting 3000. Output mode 0 to 10 volt. Here 3000 kilograms must be 10 volt, setting 3000. Press enter to quit and save the changes. Reference of the analog output. Submenu 5.3. Set up a reference signal for the analog output. Set the reference to 1 out of 9. Gross, net, peak, average, hold, etc. Press enter to quit and save the changes. The analog output mode. In submenu 5.4, we set up the analog output mode. Choose 1 out of the 6 modes. 4 to 20 milliamps, 0 to 20 milliamps, 0 to plus 5 volt, 0 to plus 10 volt, minus 5 to plus 5 volt, mainly used in force measurements, minus 10 to plus 10 volt, mainly used in force measurements. Press Enter to quit and save the changes. Test of the analog output. In submenu 5.5, you can test the analog output independent of the setup in 5.1 minimum and 5.2 maximum. Such an easy test can be required to check a long cable connection to the PLC. The table has the 4 columns: mode, test range, setup and output signal. Please look at the column test range. You see the range is plus minus 100 digits larger than the mode. In the column setup, we have setup examples for the different modes. The column analog output signal shows the corresponding signal to the examples. To set up a negative value, use the flashing left figure of the display. This is the MSB, the most significant bit. Press the up button several times till the sign LED switches on. Attention! For setup of the test value, the MSB must be 0. Press Enter to quit and save the changes. To finish the analog output setup, press the Move Right button 2 or 3 times and the DAD will be back in weighing mode. Weighing indicator DAD 141.1. Many thanks for joining the training for setting the analog outputs by using the front panel buttons. We would like to invite you to watch more training videos. For feedback or FAQs, just see our website howback.com or send an email to info@howback.com with your wishes, experience reports, questions, or comments. Thanks and take care.